Hey everybody, and welcome to my YouTube channel. So, it's been a long time. I've been really busy with work, but I decided to do another story time. And this story time, I guess I'll be talking about the first time I had a wee brownie. So, let's get it started. So, first time I had a wee brownie was probably like 2 years ago, and I remember it was around November. I think it was probably the day before Thanksgiving, honestly. So I was in my best friend's house. He lives right across the street. Well, he did live across the street, and I was there. Like, I usually was there all the time, and so he got some weed brownies, and we were just like, oh, who cares? Let's just eat some. So I had like a piece, literally like this. That's probably how big my piece was. And he took some. He was eating a lot, actually. They're brownies, so people don't notice that they're gonna get you messed up. And he also gave his grandma one. Yes, his grandma. She knew what it was, but I feel like she thought it wasn't really gonna affect her, because there was one time we tried to attempt to make brownies in his house, and yeah, it didn't work out so well. But anyways, let's get to it. So I had a piece, whatever, and I'm hanging out in his room, chilling, listening to music. His grandma's in her room, and I start to feel high. So once I start to feel high, I'm like, you should probably go check on your grandma, because if I'm feeling high, she definitely has to be feeling high. So I'm just in the room hanging out, and I'm like, why hasn't he came back to the room yet? Like, he's taking forever to come back. And he comes running back into the room, laughing. I'm like, oh my God, what happened? Is she okay? He's like, yeah. So he's running into the room to grab his iPad to start recording her. I run out of the room, right into her room, and she's bugging out. And she's just there, like, going crazy, and just like, oh my God, what's going on? And I'm getting paranoid now, and I'm like, what the hell is going on now? Like, oh my God. I feel like my heart is racing. I'm getting like anxiety. And she's just there making these weird noises, and those noises are really like distracting me. Like, I'm trying so hard not to laugh because it was funny at the same time, but yet I'm like, oh my God, like, what did I just get myself into? And so she's laying down, talking about her head feels heavy, and she's like laying down, and she's talking about she wants to go to the hospital, and I'm like, oh my God, no, let's not bring the hospital into this. And then she's telling my friend, call your dad. I'm like, oh, please don't bring the parents into this. Like, I'm the good girl, all the parents love me, like, no. Oh my goodness. And like, I started getting hot, and I'm like, oh my God, and I'm holding her hand, trying to calm her down. And then I guess she wanted water or whatever, but we got her ice instead. And I was like, no, don't give her the ice, because how about she chokes on it? And so my best friend is holding the ice for her, and this is when I was just trying to keep a straight face, because it was so inappropriate. He was holding the ice, she's laying there, she's like, yo, it was so inappropriate. I had to turn my face. I was dying laughing, and she was just really getting my blood pressure up, and I'm like, oh my goodness, like, what the hell? I felt like I was gonna pass out, and there's times where I feel like if I'm gonna pass out, I'm gonna pass out, so you better get me to a bed or something, like, safe. So I'm like, yo, I can't, I need air. So I'm like, yo, you gotta hold her hand. So I run to the kitchen, I open the freezer, put my head in the freezer, I'm trying to cool down, I'm chewing on the ice, and then I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna pass out. I have my phone in one hand, the ice in the other, and I just turn and I start running. And I'm gonna go run to his room, and while I'm running to his room, I just throw my phone like mad hard, like boom. And right before we started all this, he wanted to clean his freaking turtle tank that was like so big. And so the floor was kind of wet. So while I'm running to his room to try to just get to the bed, because I'm like, yo, I'm literally about to collapse on the floor, I fell like, boom, so hard on my face. Like literally my face hit the floor first, like right here, and then just, and I was laying like this in dead man's pose. I opened my eyes and literally, I never really thought it was possible, but everything was upside down and spinning. And I just stood there laying down for like maybe a good minute. And then he comes running out of his grandma room laughing like, what the hell just happened? Like, how did I just get here? It was like unbelievable, honestly. I would never forget this. It was freaking crazy. After all this was done and stuff, and because I ended up leaving and his dad ended up coming and his dad's wife, he freaking, the next day I come over and he tells me how big of a piece he gave her. I didn't even take that much. She probably had like a whole size brownie when I only had like this much. He is crazy. Oh my goodness. So that's the time that I tried my first sweet brownie. It was crazy. I tell this story all the time. Honestly, it might not sound as funny or like a crazy story, me telling it, but being there and experiencing it, I swear to you, if you was there, you would have been dying, seriously, because when this shit happened, I was cracking up. Like, I was outside and I couldn't come home yet because I'm like, I'm tripping right now. I can't go home. My mom is gonna go crazy on me. So what I do, I call my niece. My niece is, well, right now she's about 2 years younger than me, a year and a half or so. It's weird, right? And then my other niece, who, damn, about 3 years younger than me. I'm trying to think. So I call her and I'm like, yo, where you at? And she tells me that she's around, and I'm like, well, you need to come over here to the block because, oh my God, I just ate a wheat brownie. I'm tripping right now, and this guy's grandma, and oh my goodness. And so they come running over, and like I tell them everything that happens, and it was literally crazy. But that was my story. The first time I had wheat brownies. I hope you enjoyed. Give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe down below, and yeah, just wait for more videos.